Welcome to the eCommerce Wizards podcast, where we feature top leaders in e-commerce and business to discuss proven strategies and trends from people in the trenches. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hello, everyone. Guillaume Nesmal here, host of the eCommerce Wizard podcast, where I feature top leaders in business and e-commerce. Today's guest is John Marcella, CEO and founder of Jasper PIM. So today we'll be talking, about PIM, product information management software, what it is, why do you need one, how to select one, what are the benefits, and we'll compare also with the DAM, digital asset management, and other things, what it is. Before we get started, we have a short sponsorship message. This episode is brought to you by MageMontreal. If a business wants a powerful e-commerce online store that will increase their sales, or to move piled up dormant inventory to free up cash reserves, or to automate business process to gain efficiency and reduce human processing error, or company, MageMontreal can do that. We've been helping e-commerce stores for over a decade. Here's the catch. We are specialized and only work on the Adobe Magento e-commerce platform. We are among only a handful of certified Adobe Magento companies in Canada. We do everything Magento. If you know someone who needs design, development, maintenance, training, support, debugging, development, anything, we got their back. Email our team, support@magemontreal.com, or go to magemontreal.com. That's M-A-G-E Montreal.com. All right, so John, I'm with you. Perhaps let's start with pleasure having you with us.
Likewise. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Let's start with the basic, the fundamentals here. Like, what's a PIM? Why do I need one? What are the benefits?
Okay, great. Well, so first question, what's a PIM? We get this question asked a lot. PIM is a very new piece of technology. So it's really only about 3 years old. Product Information Management System. If you're an e-commerce merchant or you're aspiring to be one, and you have product information problems, or you're about to, and a PIM is really all about solving those product information problems. So a little bit less, 40,000 feet, coming down a little bit. What does that mean? It means that we're about helping e-commerce merchants accelerate their e-commerce experiences by consolidating all of their product information, descriptions, names, pricing, assets, images, videos, anything they need to sell and list their products online, either their own stores or maybe on marketplaces like Amazon, Walmart, and others. And so a PIM is really a tool that is used to be a single central source of truth for your product information. So you take all of your products, you put them into Jasper PIM. We help you then curate, manage, batch manage your content, set up all your different taxonomies, which means your categories. What do I sell? Where do I sell it? When do I sell it? So I might have a Magento store, or maybe I have several for different brands. And I want to manage all my products in an agnostic tool that allows me to have a very focused view of my merchandising, publish out automatically to Magento and also to other channels. A PIM is really a place where it's a step back and it's a piece of middleware in your overall arsenal, in your overall e-commerce technology weaponry, to kind of get a real wrangle and a hold of your life. It is a tool that is used to take spreadsheets and simplify that process. Many e-commerce merchants spend a lot of time managing many spreadsheets and assets in different file servers, and they got different departments doing this and different departments doing that. And a PIM allows everybody to come together in a single stream, put everything together in one place, and then power everything through automation. No more redundancy, no more time wasted. Sell more, sell faster, work smarter. That's what a PIM is for. Who needs one? Every e-commerce merchant. Who can afford one? Well, most e-commerce merchants, especially with Jasper, because we have an ultralight product, $99 a month. We want to help all e-commerce merchants, big or small. So everybody needs a PIM. And I forget the last question. What was the third part of that question?
Well, the benefits, but you already started talking about it.
All right, great. Well, we covered some of that then. Awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So as a follow-up to that, again, just to set the table, perhaps your boss may say, go shop for a PIM, and then you just start learning about it, and you might be confused. There's other acronyms out there who also claim to be like the single source of truth. You have a DAM, a digital asset management software. You have also an MDM, a master data management. Like, where does Jasper PIM fit in that, and what's the difference between those things?
Oh, another great question. So a PIM, we feel again as the single source of truth, is an aggregator of other types of e-commerce technologies to be in the middle of all the different business systems you have, and really focused on being the one place you go to merchandise all of your products. So let's talk about DAM, digital asset management, for a minute. Digital asset management is a component of your overall PIM, your product information management architecture, your burden. Product information in a general sense covers everything you need to list and sell your products, which includes product descriptions, name, prices, imagery, assets, videos, which are DAM related topics, as well as inventory, which are more like inventory management topics, as well as what you're selling, where you're selling, which is more order management topics. So a PIM connects all these systems together and kind of is like the glue that binds it all. So with a DAM, a digital asset management system, which is an important component, it allows you to get a real handle on all of your assets. And these can be public, private assets. They can be, and typically many businesses have Dropboxes where they have huge old world file servers, and they have product content, and they have assets like meaning videos, images, 3D models, technical specifications, PDF, Word documents, Excel, both old world and linked spreadsheets, which are a new paradigm, right? Google Sheets and things like that. All of these things are part of digital assets. A PIM is an aggregator of that. So our PIM, for example, has a small DAM and small inventory management system and small MDM built into it, because a PIM really kind of connects and consolidates all those things together. For small merchants, you might use a PIM connected to your ERP, like QuickBooks or maybe Bright Pearl or other types of ERPs, Sage, for example, and then connect to your Magento store or other e-commerce platforms. And so a PIM sits in the middle of those things. Now enter in a DAM, a digital asset management system, an enterprise digital asset management system can be integrated with a PIM. The PIM can pull all of the assets out of the DAM and is then responsible for taking that information and publishing, automating that product content movement across all of your selling channels. So a PIM is really about listing your content as well, connecting your data sources, batch managing your content, deciding what goes where and when, batch managing and pre-managing pricing information and product content in general, and then pushing it onto your different store channels. So that's kind of DAM and PIM. Now MDM, quickly, master data management, the notion of that is sometimes owned by an ERP. What is the master data structure and a schema look like? That information can often be in an ERP, but a PIM, in particular, a good PIM, allows you to do full product lifecycle management. So master data at the point of inception, ideation, so if you're thinking about a product, put it in the PIM. If you're designing products, put that information in the PIM. Set a certain status so that it will never get published because it's not ready. So workflow management inside of a PIM is really important. So once all your information is in there, now think about the buying stage. Product is already past approvals, QA test, and everything is ready for sale. Now you have buyers that, stock the inventory. Those buyers then can use the PIM to also incept, bring in products from different systems and connect them, decide what goes where, merchandise those products, and then automatically list and publish to different channels.
Very interesting. And let's talk about like the benefits of adding a PIM for somebody trying to sell on marketplaces, because this is very popular. Like Amazon now alone is larger than all the other e-commerce sites combined in the world. It's like Amazon is the sun right now, in this e-commerce system online.
Yes.
And the person might want to sell on eBay, and they might have like different rules and so on. Can you talk to us about the benefits in that kind of scenario?
Definitely. So imagine you're a Magento, BigCommerce, Shopify merchant. You're an e-commerce merchant. You have any of these platforms, or maybe you have a custom platform, and you're managing your content, your product data in there right now today, and you don't have a PIM. Installing a PIM and putting all your data in the PIM allows you to take a step back, to take 2 or 3 steps back, invest in putting everything in the PIM, and go 10 steps forward. So now your product's in the PIM instead of your shopping cart. Now your product data is no longer in an island, which is the shopping cart. Now your product data is in your PIM. Now we can connect you to your Amazon store or stores. Maybe you have one, maybe you want one. We've had customers that have come to us and they want to get on Amazon. So we help them, or they're already there and we connect and automate. The benefit is that you're not, like, if you're a merchant now and you have multiple stores and an Amazon store, and many have multiple Amazon marketplaces, you've got to copy and paste. More sophisticated, but still not awesome, is, export, import. And those are all error prone. Those are all human processes. Not to mention the fact that there's no ability to really transform the data when it comes in and transform the data when it goes out. Create all kinds of beautiful business rules that allow you to do things like, hey, I'm a Shopify merchant. I have 100% of my catalog assortment that publishes to Shopify. But on Amazon, I only want to sell 50% of my product assortment. And I want to sell my high margin movers, so cost plus. And I want to sell, certain brands, and I don't want to sell other brands because, it's listing on marketplaces and selling that way is more expensive. But I still want I want customer capture. I want them to be exposed to my brand. I would love it if they could buy my brand on Amazon and then come to my site later. So with a PIM, you put your products and manage it once. You set up all your categorization, your taxonomies and everything in the PIM, and the PIM automates the rest. So every time you have a new product change or a price change or a description change or new assets, new imagery, seasonal stuff that happens, any kinds of transactions like that happen, not to mention day-to-day, moment-by-moment inventory quantity changes, the PIM can manage your inventory too. So as your inventory changes in your distribution centers, your warehouses, it connects with the PIM and then publishes out to the different channels, including Amazon and that. So now imagine you made that investment. Now you can spin up multiple Magento stores. Hey, maybe I want to sell on Walmart too, because Walmart is a massive up and coming marketplace. A lot of people like Walmart as an option as well. Why not sell there? Maybe you can list your products there too. So a PIM will now, it's one to many, right? You made the investment, you put everything in the PIM, and it can publish to multiple channels. Many of our customers publish to 30 or 40 different channels automatically. Imagine manually managing that. You just can't do it. So
yeah, I totally agree with you. And even though some of that data may have a bit of redundancy, or if we take an example of like the old ERP, like say an old Oracle or an old SAP, well, some of those systems will not even have images in those. And, they're so huge that the company who's running on those old versions sometimes is not there to do the upgrade, or the upgrade is extremely expensive. So they postpone it. They just keep running the old version. I've seen also those cases where there was only one image allowed per product, and it was a low resolution image, so like not appropriate for web selling. So then you can say, okay, well, how can I fix this? You can say, I might fix it just with my e-commerce store. Then you can have additional pictures in high res, but the way you optimize it in Amazon listing is not the same way that you present the information on your own website. And that's where really like a PIM will shine. And like the length of description and titles and so on will not be the same on Amazon and on eBay. So you can do some fine tuning and SEO, search engine optimization for, each of the marketplaces you're selling to, and really like automate all of that. So even though you could connect, let's say your Magento store directly with Amazon, you'd still be pushing the same data that you have from your website to Amazon. So when you have the PIM there, you have the possibility of fine tuning what you're selling here to a much further degree, which is really, really interesting. And there's that other big marketplace called Walmart.com, which you can get there. If you haven't noticed yet, Walmart is also now a marketplace. It's selling, from other vendors, but it's different from Amazon that like anybody can just click sign up, pay a $30-ish and be a vendor. On Walmart, you have to be a large enough vendor and approved by Walmart. But it connects also to Walmart. And you guys connect also to other marketplaces?
We do, yeah. We actually support natively. We support about 3 or 4 different marketplaces. We're adding about 2 or 3 per quarter, and through one of our partner connections, we support up to 400 different marketplaces. So there isn't one that we haven't counted. And those marketplaces are all what we call final mile, like all the way through to the publication. Some of those marketplaces support real-time transactional information from a PIM to the marketplace. Others are more, believe it or not, even somewhat manual in the way that they work. But if there's automation support, then we can support that. But that landscape changes, week over week, month over month. And but we support sort of the major platforms today. which we identify as kind of like Amazon, Walmart, eBay. A lot of people come to us for Target, depending on how you want to say it, and others. So those are sort of the major platforms that marketplaces that we come up against outside of your typical commerce platforms. And then after that, we'd say, across customer base, we get to a lot of specialty marketplaces. Then it becomes more industry focused, and those are often very, very, I wouldn't say bespoke, but they can sometimes be. And once again, benefit of a PIM is, all of that stuff is abstracted. One of the things that you brought up that was really good about the whole idea of, hey, architecting your product data in a PIM, not being limited by your e-commerce platform like Magento or anybody else. Magento is a very powerful commerce platform, but it's also one, spoke in what is a many omni-channel type of scenario for most merchants, or many merchants should think that way. Plan to architect your product information for 10 or 15 years of scale. And then think about your shopping platform as something that might change next year and probably should refresh itself very frequently to be competitive. So put your products architected in a PIM in such a way that it becomes completely agnostic. You can put product information in a PIM that won't be supported in Magento or BigCommerce, Shopify, other WooCommerce, any of these other platforms natively. But the PIM will expose data because it's a cloud-based resource, because it's backed by a content delivery network, which is geo-aware. It'll be lightning fast. And so on your Magento stores, you could pull data from your Jasper PIM that publishes, all kinds of rich content. So now, but you've already made the investment in Jasper, you don't need to edit and modify your Magento store as much, not as much. And you can simply just take advantage of the content that's already there and use the automation that's already set up. And so it's a fantastic architecture. We've seen it, as I say, sort of quarter over quarter, I can say, growth is kind of like 45% quarter over quarter in terms of PIM adoption. PIM is absolutely massive. It's just exploding. It's a fantastic time to be an e-commerce merchant and to really think about the ways you can be competitive now, especially post-COVID.
Yeah, I definitely see PIM as a fantastic addition for an e-commerce merchant as they're expanding, adding more marketplaces, or just improving quality of the content on their site, which is crucial. Like, this is often a neglected fundamental here, that you just put yourself in the shoes of the person making the purchase decision. You need to have a lot of product data. You need to have the spec sheet and ideally also reviews and everything. You need to have high quality picture. You can zoom in and make an informed decision, because you're shopping on 3 websites at the same time in 3 different tabs and trying to find who you're going to buy it from. And maybe there's a slight variation in the product. You want to pick the best one for your need that fits best. And Absolutely. Then you need to have quality content, not just like a title and the price, you need quality content to increase the sales online. It's just like, I would take any time, like a catalog 10 times smaller and with high quality content over a catalog that's 10 times bigger, and it's like bare bone, because the smaller catalog that's really high quality will outperform by far in e-commerce sales at this larger catalog. That's a given.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And something else that I'd like to cover with you, like we talked, some benefits, what it is. Now, how do I choose a PIM? How do I know, first of all, that I'm there now? Okay, I've heard about the benefits, but am I there? Am I due to, start this project here of adding a PIM? And also in the PIM let's start with this and we'll follow up with the other one. Go ahead.
Sure. No, that's great. Objectively, we're a PIM company. We'd love every customer to buy our PIM. But objectively, what you should look for in a PIM, starting with, is, PIM is complex. It is a complex topic. The right PIM for each merchant is going to be different. We start with fundamental, philosophy around, do you want to be managing and have a lot of high degree of control of your own internal IT systems? Yes or no? If you do, you're typically a company that has an internal IT department, you have an on-premise system, and you're very likely to favor a product that you can customize, you can tweak it, you can manage it that way. And that's fine. So consider that, because there's a real sort of divide between, I guess you would call them the software as a service PIMs and the older world on-prem, download it and install it and connect it with the rest of your business systems. We encounter customers that have all kinds of needs, and some really want the older world on-prem. They want a high degree of control over the product. We would then recommend first start with those on-prem PIMs versus a SaaS PIM. So once you've decided that, you've culled the field in half, or maybe even more so. So now if you're a software as a service PIM, you're going to want flexibility. You're going to want strong service level agreement from that PIM. You're going to want a really good intuitive interface. You're going to want a PIM that pivots quickly and reacts and responds quickly. So it has really good roadmap turnover. So in other words, hey, new features come out, I'm paying a single license. With software as a service, I have no control of what these guys give me, right? In Jasper PIM, we put all these beautiful new features. You as a merchant have no control over that. So hopefully we're putting out really great features and we're doing it frequently so that you're constantly getting new value. Whereas in the on-prem year, it's more controlled situation. With software as a service, if you're onboarding with a PIM, I would start with a PIM that offers you the ability to try before you buy, very, very quickly pivot and prototype. Even big businesses and some of our very big companies, our multi-billion-dollar businesses, they install our PIM, they try with our light product, $299 a month for 1 month, and they try it out, and their risk is ridiculously mitigated. Like everyone can afford that. So they try it for 4 weeks, and they're like, "This is great. Now we're ready for the 24-month contract and all the rest of the, let's go through our 3 months of diligence on you guys and all the rest of that stuff." So definitely do try a PIM. Try a PIM that will let you experiment. Try a PIM that is cost effective. But importantly, because of how sticky a PIM is, how much time and energy it takes when you find your favorite PIM, it could take you weeks, months, or even longer to get your products in and perfect it and re-architect it. 3 steps back, 20 steps forward. Just make sure that the 20 steps forward, your provider, your partner is going to be there for you for several years to come and service you well that way. Now, on the on-prem side of the market, well, it's less of a Wild West. It's you download the software, what you get is what you see. Be prepared, though. Not a lot of people are used to this. Take a free PIM or a download PIM. Total cost of ownership can be extremely, extremely elusive. You don't know what that is until you talk to your consultants. And now, to be fair, a software as a service enterprise PIM that competes apples to apples is going to be the kind of product that will very much still have a total cost of ownership footprint to it. Big businesses should expect to invest a lot of money in this category because frankly, either way, whether you have a software as a service or you have on-premise, the investment in getting things done properly is not something to be cheap about. This is not a place where you're looking for squeaking out some extra bucks. This is a place to invest heavily. Prototype, try it out. Don't invest too much in that phase. And when you found the right product, then go fast and go hard because your competitors will.
Yeah, and that's one really strong competitive advantage for Jasper PIM here. And we can talk maybe like your philosophy as a PIM. What do you guys focus on? What do you value? Because what you value will change your decision in building the software. It will lead you to a different product. And let's say we hear a lot in the Magento ecosystem about like Akinio and InRiver and sometimes like PIMcore.
Yes.
The cost difference is like gigantic here. So you guys have a Magento connector already built. So the merchant does not need to bring up that money by himself and pay like 20, 30, 50K of custom integration. You guys provide the connector.
Definitely.
Which is wonderful.
Yes.
And then like the cost, let's say even like Kineo, we're typically talking over 20K of like implementation costs in the smallest implementation, plus like a 24K and up yearly license in USD. And that's not the really expensive one. That's a small implementation. And then you have like the InRiver, like 50, 60K and 100K, 200K implementation.
300K total cost of ownership.
And huge yearly license, 60, 80K and stuff like that also. So you guys like have a really, really compelling offers here. Like, do you want to perhaps position like a bit your software here?
Yeah, I mean, philosophically, what we believe a PIM should be is a very focused merchandising utility. And I find that many of our competitive platforms are trying to do a little bit too much. It's almost like they're overlapping into inventory and they're overlapping into, shopping cart and OMS to the extent that, hey, why don't they just put a shopping cart on there and call themselves a Magento competitor? Because at some point, there's a wide spectrum of what they're trying to cover, and I think that lack of focus is starting to create very, very slow product roadmaps. So now on the total cost of ownership side, the benefit of a really strong enterprise software as a service PIM is that you get the power, the network effect, right? If we spin up an instance of our product, it costs us very little to do that. And so as a result, we can charge exceptionally good rates for e-commerce merchants that are on board. Because we're an enterprise PIM that also serves down market, we're concerning ourselves with usability. And many of the big PIMs are not as worried about that because they see PIM as, the big boys playground. And we see PIM as truly PIM for all, like truly PIM for all in the sense, and, not to steal our competitors' tagline, it's trademarked by them or something. I don't know. That's not our trademark. Just want to say that. But what does that mean? It means, hey, your small Shopify merchant who, might find our ultralight product at $99 a month potentially expensive. How do they feel about onboarding, some of these other platforms? It's not feasible for them. So we want to introduce our PIM to everyone truly and make it simple, straightforward, easy to go, and then grow up with us as you grow. But that's easy. So it's no longer, you're not hosting it yourself, not managing yourself. We're trying to philosophically, we're trying to turn merchants into merchants instead of turning them into IT departments that want to run their own websites, because most of those merchants suck at doing that. And they think they can do it and they hire teams to do it. And some of them succeed, very few do. And then the ones that are more successful decide, hey, I'm not that. I'm going to hire an agency. And agencies and systems integrators are absolutely awesome, and have their place. We are very much, we love working with agencies. We love to work with systems integrators, such as what you guys do, because we don't do that service work. So this is where a PIM really comes into its own, because the agency represents the customer and knows about all the other business systems. And, we're a PIM and we have a fantastic API. And so that's important. And an API driven company, we have an API. So, hey, you can't see our source code and download anything and hack it all together with us, but you can, if you want to extend our product, you can do so by building your own applications around our API. So now you're not a PIM competitor or trying to build your own and hack your own PIM together. Now what you're doing is maybe you're building little things over here and little things over there, or connectors or system bridges. And this is where many really great agencies come into play. So I would encourage a merchant, hey, don't let your own IT department do that stuff. They've already got enough things to do. Bring in an agency that knows PIM and knows e-commerce, super focused on e-commerce, super focused on a singular platform, and get them to integrate your systems together and work with really great DSPs, digital service providers like Jasper.
Well, that's awesome. And we've covered a lot like multi-channel, to some degree, but omni-channel here. Some other application for the PIM, of course, is multilingual. So if you have, all those translations, if you're a large brand or you just operate in many countries,
Yes.
Obviously that's tremendous benefits here of having a PIM to manage all in one place.
Well, 100%.
Yeah, same is true also for multi-currencies, because then you could have both languages and the prices in all the currency and split per country and so on. And then you sync that to your e-commerce store, you sync that to your multiple marketplace, maybe Amazon.ca, Amazon.us, and so on.
Yes. That's a fantastic call out. One of our customers, and there are many customers like this, not specific just to Jasper, but so one of our customers is Skull Candy, a typical consumer brand. Everybody's very familiar with the kinds of products they sell. They put up all their products in Jasper's PIM, and they have multiple stores in different languages, different currencies, and different geographies that are all powered by the PIM. And so, but here's the important part is that you put your master products in one master language. It's not always English, but it's whatever, European countries will pick whatever their master language is. Put your products in your master language. And then you have child languages that inherit from the master. So there are many, many product specifications that are not language specific. SKU is an example that transcends all languages. There's other pieces of data that you do not need to repeat. So we have an inheritance model in our versioning. So you could have, and as Skull Candy does, languages, English, French, German, Japanese, languages all over the world, with fully international support. You can put all that into one place, into one PIM. Normally, for most businesses, that content is managed everywhere. It's a mess. It's a disaster. And by the time they get themselves organized, they've lost all kinds of sales opportunities. Never mind, forget about promotions. They're barely even managing what they have because they're doing it all manually. So, and the currency thing is extremely powerful because, again, you can have automated currency. Or imagine in our PIM, imagine if you connect with a translation provider, as some of our customers do. SmartLane is an example. GenGo, another example. It's automated translation, but it's human translation. So imagine you put your master language in English and your content's ready, and you simply press a button or you move it into a workflow state. It automatically sends your content to a language translation provider who goes through and manually translates it in humans translate it. So it's good quality. Press a button on their side. It comes back into your PIM. It's already there. Somebody reviews it, presses a button, boom, up it goes to all your French channels. Maybe I have 17 different French stores across the world because, for whatever reason, different brands, different whatever. It's not just for big businesses. Even small businesses can benefit from this too.
That's pretty awesome. And let's say we've already covered that your PIM comes with a Magento e-commerce connector, so we can connect the PIM with the e-commerce stores. There's a little bit of labor related, but the bridge is already built, so there's no cost and no project risk. You
Absolutely.
guys already have connector for like marketplaces like Amazon, eBay, and a bunch of other partnerships and Walmart.
Yes.
And what about ERPs? Like, is there connectors pre-made for that, or is it a custom job for each ERP connector?
Love that question too. So this is typically the phase 2 or phase 3 portion of where PIM really comes into its own, as if there isn't enough value in the beginning with just connecting and listing all your products. We have worked with many different ERP systems: Oracle, Dynamics Great Plains, NetSuite, Navision, Sage, Bright Pearl, I think I said QuickBooks already. So there's a number of different ones that we've worked with: JD Edwards, AS400. We even can help big merchants do bespoke integrations just by building some connector bridges between our API and their system. Connecting with an ERP is where PIM gets really exciting, because now it's a full 360 loop. Your ERP can push your item master data into your PIM so that only your merchandisers are actually enriching your content, and they're not deciding how much pricing and what the SKU level data is and what some of the core fundamental specification data looks like. They're merchandising it. They're deciding which categories to put it in, what if there's different titles and descriptions, SEO content, marketing content, imagery, assets, videos, all that stuff. They're definitely doing that in the PIM. And then the system pushes everything to your outbound channels. Now, on the outbound side, Jasper's already connected to all of your stores, right? And your marketplaces. So when orders come in, we connect and bring all those orders back in, flow them through the PIM. We're not an order management system. I'll get to that in a second. We pull all the orders back to your ERP so that, imagine you have 17 different stores, like many of our customers do, or 20, 30, 50 stores, or even one, but it's all done through automation. It all flows right back from your store into your ERP. And now your sales order processing, your transactions are all sorted. Your inventory is all corrected and coordinated. So now your ERP decides, okay, great. It decrements the inventory, pushes the inventory to the PIM. PIM then pushes to your channels, and you've got a full sort of beautiful 360 loop happening. I would say probably 60, 70% of our customers either have or have aspirations to have an ERP integration. So, and it's not always the first phase because it's a big project, but once you have that going, ooh boy, well, you've got an architecture for scale there. And that is 10, 15-year life cycle, hopefully, on all of that, and the ability, and modern as well. Many people are replatforming or thinking about it. Now's a great time to do that. Now's a fantastic time to do that. Yeah.
Is there any last point that you'd like to cover about PIMs in general?
No, not really. I think no. I mean, I'm a PIM evangelist.
Covered it all.
As I said. Yeah. I mean, we've been in the space forever. Like, I mean, our PIM, we were calling it a product control system, and the market only started calling it a PIM, about 3 or 4 years ago. And at first, it was very much like, you brought up something about executives asking about a PIM, saying, we call that airline magazine design. The CEO or VP will say, we need PIM. I don't know what a PIM is, but we need it. And so before it was like, what is this PIM thing? We don't need that. That's just another expense, And so the paradigm, the shift has happened. As I said, for us, we observed August 2018, really the fall of 2018 is when more and more merchants started saying, this PIM thing's got legs. I like it. And now post COVID, especially this past quarter, coming off of Christmas holidays, goodness, the demand is crazy. So, I mean, I'm an evangelist for PIM. I obviously love it. I'm completely biased and partial. Please buy our PIM. We love our PIM. Please buy any PIM. Any PIM at all will do. And then maybe later we'll see. Maybe we'll see you later. But take some chances, take some risks. Invest a small amount, test it out, and then go hard on the stuff that works for you. Outside of that, I don't have anything else to suggest.
Yeah, and I can confirm what you're saying here on our end. Also, we've received a lot of requests for PIM. It's increasing. We see the market and the demand increasing related to e-commerce integration with the PIM. All right. Well, thank you, John, for being here with us today.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's been great. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to the eCommerce Wizards podcast. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes. And contact us at MageMontreal.com.